class. How's everybody doing? I've got my TikTok actually still running in the background. For those of you who are watching on TikTok, if you're wondering what's JJ doing, well, JJ is going live on my Zoom to my company account. And what we're doing is we're going to teach people how to go live on TikTok today, and all the different ways and techniques and ideas about TikTok to understand exactly what TikTok can do for you. And I've got participants from all around the world here who is going to be in the screen. I see some friendly faces. Thank you for being here, my friendly faces. And most importantly, for everybody on TikTok live watching me now and wondering how to join in, well, very simple. You just have to go to jjonair.com. That's my website. And then look for my links, which is basically /resources. And then you can click the link and come join the Zoom. All right. And then we can chat, and then I can teach you, because I'm going to go off TikTok very, very soon. But for everybody here, how you doing? Everybody okay? Good, ready, excited? First of all, I would love to know the question for this is the generic question that I'm going to ask, which is, what do you know about TikTok? What do you know about TikTok? Okay, I'm gonna ask two people to join in. Okay, so first of all, Nick, all the way from the UK. I'm going to turn on your mic. Go ahead, tell me, what do you know about TikTok?
It looks like fun. It tastes like fun. And if I did it, it'll be fun, but I'll mortify my kids.
Don't worry, I'm doing that to mine. So my teenagers do not like me because I tend to have more followers than them. That's rude, but yeah, it's the whole David Beckham, Brooklyn Beckham thing going on here, but it's okay. All right. So that's what I'm doing. George, how about you? Have you what do you know about TikTok? Have you tried TikTok? What have you done with TikTok?
I know about TikTok. I am just a watcher. I'm not a participant yet.
Right.
It's quite interesting, engaging, and I spend too much time sometimes just engaged with just watching stuff. But
Awesome.
it's interesting.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, one thing about TikTok is you have to realize TikTok is, there's so many aspects to TikTok. There's the live aspects to TikTok, all right? And then also when it comes to TikTok, there is the elements where you put up, you put up posts and, engage with people and so on and so forth. I'm not saying don't do that. It's very important to fill up your whole TikTok so that people can understand and, to understand you better, to understand what you stand for, and so on and so forth. It's very important. But today, just for the sake of time, since we've got it all the way till only 2 p.m., I'm going to just focus on the live aspect of TikTok. I hope everybody's okay with that. So if you're okay with the live aspect of TikTok, type in 1 in the comment. And if you're just okay, if you want more, I will try and figure out how I can deliver that to you. But first of all, Sean, I would like to say hello to everybody who's here. I've got Sean, I got Tosin, I got Nick, I got George, and more people slowly coming in. Vishnu, thank you so much for coming in, buddy. Thank you all. All right. So for those of you watching on my TikTok, I'm going to end the TikTok live very, very soon. So if you're wondering what's going on, I'm just training people how to use TikTok live. So once again, since I've had the introduction and conversation with George and Nick, I would love to start ask Tosin for a while. Tosin, how about you? What do you know about TikTok and how you use it? If you're here, there you go. So, what do you know about TikTok and how you use it?
I joined TikTok maybe 2 years ago.
Right.
So I have several videos I've been putting, although this past few weeks I haven't been very consistent, but I have videos on there. However, I have never done a live TikTok live, even though I got up to 1,000 followers. I think now I'm eligible.
Actually,
but I just never.
That's the weird thing about TikTok live now. It has changed. It's no longer just 1,000. It's open up to more people. So today I'm going to explore more. I'm going to teach you all the different tricks about how you can use TikTok Live to help you with your business as well. All right. So everybody who's watching on my TikTok Live, thank you so much. If you want to join this class, because I'm ending this is what I'm doing. I'm going live here and I'm going live on TikTok as well, and inviting people to come join the class. All right. So they can come join the class if they want to. They just have to go to my page, which is jjonair.com, and then go there, click on the resources page, and find a link to come to the Zoom, because I'm ending the TikTok live right now so I can focus with everybody here. Everybody on TikTok, thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you soon. If you want to join me, please share the link to everybody, which is jjonair.com. Do that, and then you can see what's going on. All right. So once again, thank you so much, everybody on TikTok Live. I'm going to focus on my class. So see y'all soon. Bye. So now, everybody, first of all, everyone here more or less knows this already. If you want to, you can just, get in touch with us. And how do you get in touch with us? You just either scan that QR code down there, and you will be able to get in touch with our WhatsApp. And within our WhatsApp group, we will communicate with you anytime, anyway, anyhow you need. We'll find a way to get in touch with you, and then, we'll speak. And then if you've got any questions there, the relevant people will pass it to us. All right. It's as simple as that. So let's get started. Do you know the history of TikTok? Let's start with the history of TikTok, right? Shall we? Okay, what is TikTok? Okay, because I'm using 20 screens at the same go, so it's going to be tricky. What is TikTok? Okay, does anyone here know where TikTok started off from? And I know the answer is going to be China. If you know exactly what's the parent company when it started, what was it called? Do you know? Put it in the chat. I would love to see if you all know the history of TikTok. I know this is like a quiz test. Yes, it's education, but I always believe in having fun while we learn. So what do you think is the name of the company that started TikTok? Not ByteDance. I'm talking about the company itself. Music Sometime. All right. And the other two is like, I shall not answer that question. All right. TikTok started, surprisingly, in the year 2016. Okay. Excuse me. 2016, Douyin in China. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing that right. All right. So it started with that. And then after that, what it did is it became TikTok in 2017. All right. But it only allowed short form video, 15 seconds, and it's catered to small things. And then after that, TikTok, what happened was it merged with Musical.ly. And then it became the sensation that it is, because when Musical.ly, when they merged with Musical.ly, Musical.ly had a database of America. And because of that, everything went crazy. So the history of TikTok is very simple. The rising excuse me. So it expanded the content. It evolved from, just, focusing on music, lip syncing. If you all remember, the start of TikTok was just people lip syncing to songs. And then suddenly lip sync battle came on, and so on and so forth. So more or less, they did the same thing, but for more people to have fun. But it is now growing and adding all kinds of different things. Even education is involved within TikTok. All right. So if you the evolution of it, when it was introduced, it has started adding in all kinds of different things. It started adding in effects and stuff, editing tools. So within it itself, you can use it. I'm sure most of you have heard of CapCut, and CapCut, if I'm not mistaken, is under TikTok itself. And CapCut is one of the easiest editing video tools around. So TikTok itself has evolved because they realize they want to fill up their platform with a lot of content. They made it easier to edit this content and make it more accessible to everyday people so that they can add in all kinds of effects and make it look like it's professionally done. So that's the main idea of what TikTok is, okay? And then let's move on to the next one. Algorithm and viral of its success. Now, TikTok's algorithm is some say a mystery, but I have a weird understanding of it. But anyway, it says here TikTok sophisticated algorithm which recommends you. You can read it. I'm not going to read it out. Y'all can read it while I talk. But one thing I realize about TikTok that is very unique compared to everyone else is that TikTok, if let's say we've got Nick in the room. Now, Nick follows me, but Tosin doesn't follow me. But Tosin follows Nick. Now, if Nick likes and comments on my post, Tosin will be able to see it. Somehow or other, it will push it to Tosin. It's like, hey, y'all are friends, and this guy likes this, so therefore maybe she will like it too, and it will pass. So that's the interesting part about TikTok, and that's why the algorithm within is going crazy, and that's why more people get viral. You know the word I hate saying, but you know that's what everybody wants to go viral. But yeah, so that's the crazy thing about TikTok. It allows more people to witness it based on your connections within your whatever you like and watch and stuff like that. So it's very interesting, and that's how it moves fast. All right. So the next thing, viral trends. If you notice, the trends start on TikTok and then it moves on to all the other platforms, because TikTok, yes, there are, please don't get me wrong. I know there are some trends that are very horrible and scary and dangerous, but it all starts on TikTok. So this is for parents watching this. If you want to know what your kids are doing, get on TikTok. You'll see the trends, and then if you see the little thing they're doing, you understand what they're doing. The weird part about TikTok itself, if you look at the people who join within TikTok, they they want to have individuality. They go there because they say they got freedom, they can create and all that. But a lot of people conform in TikTok. In other words, everyone tries to do the same trend. So when it becomes viral, if you play a certain music, because like a music with a certain dance that goes to it, you see everybody knows how to do it, especially the younger generation, right? So that's the power of TikTok, and how you use this. This is a bonus tip. Do y'all want a bonus tip? What you can do is when you post something, a trick you can do is you type in trending music or whatever on TikTok. You add that music into your video, but bring down the audio of the music and put up your audio, and you will fall under the category of that music somehow or other. And people like, wait a minute, this is not the song. But you know, you will fall under the same algorithm of like, oh, everyone who's playing this music is within this file, and you'll see millions and millions of views, and that's what people do. So, and then if you look at trends as well, people tend to take one trend and then, you know, just abuse it to this max, like everyone is doing it, and then you see people trying to evolve. The funny part about that is if you're the first to evolve a trend, then you become the main guy again, and then you start a new thing. So figure out it, go through it. If you see anything entertaining to you, I like doing this. I see something entertaining, and my age group is very different from the age group of the people doing the trend. I tend to move it towards my age group and try and make it my, so people understand my thing. So I remember there was a trend, something like whatever, I forgot what it was. In Malaysia, we used to play this game called 1-2 Juice. In other words, rocks, paper, scissors, but 1-2 Juice is bird, stone, water. So I did the whole trend and ended up with 1-2 Juice. And then the younger person like, no, you don't understand, and walks off. But I'm like, that's what I learned. And then I just end the video like that. But I use the same trend. and that video was watched. So the idea is don't be, adverse to trends and, understanding how the trends work and what it does and how it grows and all that. Understand it, watch it, see if any of the trends intrigue you, and try to adapt it to your purpose, whatever you are doing, and then put it in. Don't just have to follow the trend, but use elements like the music and the style or whatever within, and then that's what you can do. So that's an idea of a bonus idea I'm giving everybody on TikTok, because we're not focusing on content today. We're just focusing on the live because there's a lot to do. So anyway, next one. Global impact and challenges. Here's another thing about TikTok so as you know, what happened during the lockdown, the COVID virus, TikTok grew huge during that time. All of a sudden, why? Because you have to realize, we as humans, we are pack animals. We need community. We need people who are like-minded and all that. And at the same time, we wanted to, connect with the world. And TikTok was a very easy way of connecting through fun little tactics where, you're just dancing or just having fun and stuff like that. So during the lockdown, a lot of trends started blowing up, and people started doing the trends because there's nothing else to do. So they decided to create the trends and play music. But here's a crazy part about TikTok itself. If you notice, there's a lot of younger generation younger generation knowing older music. All because a trend starts with a song that's really old, and then it just goes out of proportion, and then everybody like, have you heard this new song? I'm like, no, that song's 30 years old, but it's okay. It's like if you remember, recently there was a trend of the Makeda, that song's 13 years old. So that song is a 13-year-old song, and that song actually has some activism connotations to it. If you actually do research about the song, you'll understand what the song means and the whole works of it. But because of that little trend, people recognize the song. And then if you notice the music industry now, every musician who comes up with a song has a little dance move they're hoping people catch on, because the Koreans did this well. Everyone's got that dance, and everything has a little dance to it. So if you think of it as creating trends to teach people, because sometimes to connect with the younger generation, that's the hardest part, because there is this generation gap that we have. But the truth is, if you look at the different generations, all of us have a similar item to that correlates with this generation's item. So like a song with a theme, current generation has a song with the same theme, but you just have to bridge the gap. So if you're the person bridging the gap, suddenly people are like, okay, I got education, I'm smarter, I feel good, and then they'll join in the fun. So anyway, so what you can look at is all those little things that can help you with getting your face out there more so people can see you. Navigating challenges. Okay, despite these are the different challenges that they have, especially the United States wants to shut it down, India shutting it down, but there's a battle behind it because of security, and people say you're stealing it. But let's be honest, all social media, as long as you have a smartphone, they've got your details. I don't know how, but they've got your details. Let's just admit that. Let's not just put a country who has my details. Somehow or other, we've got the details, cookies, and we try our best to protect our identity online with VPNs and stuff like that. But let's be very, very, very honest here. Okay, the truth is, everything we do, we are being recorded, or data has been taken. So it's just what we can do is mitigate the amount of data we put out there, and you know, go with the flow. In other words, all right. I'm just being very honest here. So let's look at the next. Excuse me. All right. See, the current state of TikTok. This is an interesting thing. All right. So TikTok started off with just for Gen Z, and you know, and alpha, where they just wanted to sing and have fun and stuff like that. But if you do look at the Gen Z and alpha, you have to realize each of them have a very they are very in touch with social issues and mental health and well-being and stuff like that. It's not just about money, but they, at the same time, they don't want to be lectured into it. So the idea of how you can use TikTok in your business or whatever you want to do is put in all this little information, put in all this little tidbits of information and knowledge through this fun, entertaining way. I know it takes a little bit more of brain juice, but like I said, like at the start, look at the trends that are going on, see how it relates to you, and then adapt it to your style using the same messages, not messages, same tone, but use your message within that tone, and that will help you. Because at the moment, TikTok is no longer for the Gen Z. Everybody, even I've seen grandmothers watching TikTok, and they are on TikTok as well, building their own little, you know, empire on TikTok and following. So yeah. So TikTok itself, it's evolving. If you notice, TikTok has its own TikTok shop nowadays. I will show you a case study later on today. And in that case study, you will see a friend of mine who last year, not this year, last year, February, he more or less started his TikTok. And he started it from a point where his business was failing. All right. He used TikTok, and he used it in a very TikTok live in a very, very smart way. Now, every time he goes live, all right, he sells at least 1,000 of his product. At least 1,000 every night. And you'll see the printouts coming in for orders, and I'm going like to a point where just recently he had an event where he made so what he does is sell caps. So he made 1,600 caps or something like that to be sold. He sold it out within 5 hours, just because he built a following on TikTok. And he uses TikTok live to say, hey, check it out, the item is out, who wants it? And it just goes. It's crazy. And the items are not cheap. In Malaysian ringgit, it's considered pricey for a cap, but he did well. But anyway, so the platform is slowly evolving, integrating e-commerce. I'm sure they're gonna slowly adapt into education. As you can see already, all the big speakers, they have their own TikTok account, having all that little videos of going, you know, do you believe in yourself, and and then they show all the different cuts. That you can learn online how to do 100%, because and as I say, if you use CapCut, it's easier for you to just place that all together to create a video. But people are using that. Then you go into TikTok Live. But why you use TikTok Live is because TikTok Live is more engaging. And I'll show you details of that. Okay, throughout the history, TikTok has shown remarkable adaptability. As I said, TikTok started with just a lip syncing app. Now, people use TikTok to find out information. Like, how do I... Do you know people actually go into TikTok to get lessons, education, cooking recipes? They actually go into the search bar and how to cook chicken tikka masala. I'm not joking, because what happens in TikTok, because TikTok started as a 15-second video platform, all right? and people suddenly doesn't do over like, hello everybody, welcome to my cooking show. Today no, it's just cook chicken tikka masala, chicken, and within 15 seconds, someone knows how to do it. But what they have to do is save the video and slowly watch it, stop, then do that part, then watch it, stop, then do that part. And what it does to the algorithm is the algorithm goes, wow, this is a lot of people are watching this over and over again. So that this video must be good. And then they share it to more people. So it's crazy because of its existence, the style of TikTok, it has spread into what it is now. So if you think of it, how to use your content, think of your business and try and to make it into not even an elevator pitch, into shorter than an elevator pitch. To a point of like, look, here are the bullet points of what I do. Blam, 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 blam. Here it is. Here you go. And make sure you put in the description of what you do, what the video is about, because people are searching for that. All right. It's interesting how TikTok has evolved that way. All right. So the next one. Bear with me as I cough. Okay. I'm curious. Now I've been doing the talking. How many countries do you think TikTok is based in? How many countries do you think TikTok is based in? How widespread is TikTok? Put it in the comments. I'm curious to see. 150 plus. That's okay. No one else wants that. There's not many people here, so I know each of you have to at least 200. Okay, that's big. But it's actually TikTok has diverse. It has a billion active users, but it's only in 116 countries. Anyway, so this is actually the number of TikTok. You see, 18% of the internet users worldwide use TikTok. That is not a small number. That is a huge pool to tap into worldwide. You're not looking only at your country, you're looking at worldwide, because everybody, what happens with TikTok is because it's short form entertainment content, even though information is in it, people scroll through as fast as they can. And they just leave it, they just leave it there playing while they do their thing. And then when something interesting catches their eye, they stop it, they save the video so that they can come back to their save files and look at what the fun things they've seen. But the content is just evolving fast, and it's just fast. Now, given TikTok is slowly opening it up, where TikTok is going to allow more longer form content to be put in. All right. I don't know what that's going to do to the algorithm, but longer form content. You have to realize the existence of TikTok created YouTube Shorts, Instagram stories and reels. Then what's X? X has something as well. So TikTok is the basis of everyone going, oh my God, everyone is doing that. We have to jump on this bandwagon of doing short videos and growing that, and then just expanding it and seeing what it is. So when it comes to TikTok, that's how it's grown. And yeah, okay. Anyway, let's oh, what is he doing? Stop doing that. Here we go. The demographic. That's the demographic. I'm not going to read it out. This is the demographic of the world audience. All right. That's the age group. That's the maybe not the high spenders, but that's the age group that starts spending. If you can get them at that age, if you ask anyone, if you can get them at that age to be your supporter and start spending on you, because they in their, I just started my life and I want to live the life my way. If you can get them, this group of people, you can do a lot, because you can nurture them and grow them. As they grow older, they become your fan and they become your supporter, and then you don't need to do anything. Like my history. I didn't go through my history. Allow me to do my history first. I just realized how rude I didn't introduce myself. Okay. My history is I started my career, even though I graduated as an electrical engineer, I started my career as a radio announcer. So when I say I started my career as a radio announcer, I didn't plan to just go into radio. Radio was a side interest. Why? Because it was supposed to pay my bills. So radio was supposed to just be fun while I finished my electrical engineering subject. So joined radio, but just as a promotion vehicle person, executive. I was driving around cars and going a bit and saying, hey, I'm here, come pick up your free stuff. But I fell in love with the concept of radio. All right. And because of that, I moved on and I learned all the different aspects of radio and learned all the different aspects when it comes to communication, how to communicate with people. Because when I was on the street, I learned how to see how people react to things I did. And then from there, I evolved to just going on air, especially on radio. You have no audience. No one's looking at you. You just have a mic and you assume what people are doing. All right. And how they're reacting. And from there, I grew and grew and grew. And I became I learned all the different aspects from manageable and all that to I started training all the other radio announcers while I was in the breakfast. I was the breakfast announcer as well. And so what I did was that was my career when it comes to growing my persona and what I did. And because I was in radio for 17 years, all right, so there was a whole generation who grew up with me. Now that generation, the crazy part is that generation now are the higher executives and also C-suites of companies. So that the crazy part is if you're listening to me at 20 something, now you're 40 something who's a C-suite in a company. So it's easier for me to engage with them. How it started through entertainment. And when I did entertainment, it wasn't just, ha, 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 ha. Yeah, of course, laugh, laugh, laugh. But I always added different elements of, questions, thought-provoking things interlaced within the way I present things and have fun and style like that. And that structural training, of course, I do that structural training of how to do that. If you want to learn it, of course, listen out to our announcements. I think I've got a class happening on the 20th of January. It's called TSCC, but, I will mention that later on. But for now, I just, I'll teach people that structure. The structure is the important thing that got a lot of people attached and understanding, and and they communicate with me well, especially now. So back to what we're discussing is the appeal of TikTok. The important part is if you get this age group attached to you right now on your messaging and whatever you do, if you've got a brand, if you've got something, if you get them at this point. All right. And their mindset going like, it's the starting point. So therefore it's entry level. It should be, easy. The price shouldn't be too expensive. And how you get in touch with them is you got to show yourself a bit so that they understand who you are. And then they come in and then you become friends. You build that rapport, then you got it. All right. So this age group is a very nice age group to, what's the right word for this? To nurture. Okay. I will not use any other word but nurture. Okay. Build a reputation with. Okay. Now, this is the demographics of it. So the appeal was, Gen Z, just fun, do. But then now it's a whole different thing. Ooh. You were right, 160 countries. It transcends different cultures, boundaries. You can travel the world on TikTok. You can see all the different cultures on TikTok, from the Hakka to a Malaysian traditional dance to something in Tibet. That being said, also, sometimes you see the ugly side of the world as well, portrayed that in news in short form as well. So in TikTok itself, you can see the whole world going on. And because it's short form content, people just scroll through, like they consume that whenever they need. If you look at people, most of the time, it's when they have a break, there's just like, I got a 15-minute break. That's no time for me to go with YouTube because that's too long. I won't have time. I got to stop halfway and all that. So they tend to go to short form content. So it's either Instagram Reels or TikTok. And TikTok is the one who pioneered the game and started building that. So that is what it's all about. Now, this is the latest TikTok audit. If you look at it, it's weird. I would have thought China would have been up there, but I think China is hiding their numbers. And because China itself has a different version of TikTok playing within China itself, the rest of us have to play with the version that we have. I think China has its own, but this is in the millions, okay? This is the breakdown of TikTok worldwide and the countries. Yes, because India banned it. India banned TikTok, Nick. India is like, no. There's what do you call this? Privacy issues, just like America. I'm not going to say that out loud. I see what you wrote there. I'm not going to say that out loud. Yo, don't set me up, Nick. It's not funny. But anyway, this is the breakdown of the latest breakdown of when it comes to TikTok itself. And what surprised me is Malaysia is not a huge country. I think we have a population of what? How many? What's our Malaysian population? 30. So 30 plus million people. 26.76% of 26.76 million people in Malaysia is on TikTok. So in other words, it's bigger than the population, just maybe a small fraction of it don't follow TikTok. So as a Malaysian, it's crazy that if you do not jump on TikTok to use it. But if you look at these numbers, the fun part about getting these numbers is this is what you do. You create your content based on the understanding you have of the culture there, of the people there. So if you see the biggest audience in the US, you want to hit the audience of US, you have to do certain things that appeal to the US. If you want to hit an Asian market, create that. All right. So don't try and create something that one shoe that fits all kind of concept, because it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to know the audience that you want to target and then create your content based on that. So it's very important for that. All right. So next one, let's go through this. Popular content and trends. I let you read this first while I drink a sip of coffee, because I realize I've been just babbling for 40 minutes. So, as you can see, the popular trends and stuff has changed a lot, and especially when you come having the hashtag. Hashtags build eyeballs on it. As you know, if you get the right hashtag, there's a lot of people joining to it. Like I'll show you this number. Let me show you this number. Y'all done reading with this? I'm not gonna read it out, because if I read it out, it's like, so these are the variants within content, from lip syncing to DIY, cooking, educational, and it's slowly evolving to like I said earlier, people come to this place to find out information because it's easier to see it done in short form content. Like, oh, you want to cook this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and then it's done. This is the hashtags. So when in entertainment itself, all right, just the hashtag within entertainment, there's 535 billion. For dance, you see the numbers. This is billion, okay? So if you're talking about travel, that's about 50 billion people, hashtagging travel. So George, if I'm not mistaken, you're in the travel, you're looking at travel. Figure out how you can tap into the market when it comes to TikTok, because when it comes to traveling aspect, people, like I said, we can travel the world through TikTok because you can experience different cultures and what's going on through TikTok. So if you do think of creating content, if you're thinking of content, long form content on YouTube and stuff like that, you should consider a shorter form of content when it comes to TikTok, but very punchy, straight to the point. Don't beat around the bush when it comes to TikTok. So for TikTok, it's straight to the point, funny, done. So there's no long, as comedians say, the long walk before the punchline. So most comedians like to draw out a long story and then punchline. TikTok is short step, punchline, short step, punchline. And that's TikTok. But TikTok live, whole different story, okay? You have to do slightly longer. But the content that puts up on TikTok is short step and stuff. All right, cool. Here, I'm just going to go through the understanding of TikTok, and then after that, we're going to work out the live aspects of it. All right. So the power of creative expression. Now, the power of creative expression is very interesting. TikTok, even though I said, remember earlier on, there's trends and stuff like that within TikTok, but if someone steps out and the way you tell your story is familiar yet different, then you start a trend and everyone else copies you. The crazy part about TikTok itself, what people can do is just sample your audio. There was one period of time people love to sample other people's audio and lip sync over it to add into your story. So it could be like there was one that's very famous where it sounds like a wife talking to a husband. It's like, where you get that from? It's like, no, they give it to me for free. It's like, no way they'll give you for free. No, it's free. It's free. If you've heard that line before, you see a lot of people use that and just acted out that line. Then some smart people started to show off their products that way, using the same line. So it's the same joke, but now I'm showing you products, my products. Yeah, it's free. And then you just have to be creative with what you have. And that's the fun part about TikTok. You don't have to think too much out of the box. You can look at trends. You can look at what's going on and adapt it to your style and your needs. It's very important to remember this. So you cannot, if you want to use any platform, this goes for any platform and anything you want to do. You cannot live in the bubble in your own world going, okay, this is the only way I'm going to do it. I'm not going to follow any trends. I hate those trends. Those things are horrible. No, look through them and then see anything go, interesting. I can adapt this to my style and then do that. At one point, I wanted to play the old uncle who nods his head at, who shakes his head at all trends. So the trend goes, and I go like, I wanted to do that. I'm like, should I or shouldn't I? I was tempted to do it, but what I did was I switched it around. I changed it to more of adapting your trend to what I used to do when I was young. So if you're talking about games and stuff you play, I just show them a stick and a stone. Two sticks that I used to play this game called Kando Kandi. So it's just two sticks, hit the stick around and the other fella is supposed to catch it. So I'm just saying no wires or something like that, And you see trends turn around. They tend to like to go back to the old things that we used to play, I used to play, and now they're like, oh my God, check out this thing is so cool. And then the trend comes back. So if you want to see how the industry is going to move or change, especially music industry and trends, clothing and all that, just look at TikTok. TikTok tends to be ahead of the time, and then industry catches up, and then it catches up. And because if you look at everybody launches on TikTok and just hopes, it becomes viral. I don't like that word, but everyone hopes for that. All right. So excuse me.